righty. Yo, 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 yo. We should be live. What's poppin', everybody? Lewis here over at Martial Artistry. I'm also your host of the Leadership Lounge live show. Let me just get some links dropped in the chat. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. We're going to get straight into it. Am I? Yep, there we go. All right, so I am live. Bear with me. I'm just going to get these links dropped in the chat right quick, and we're going to get straight into it. Let me know if you're just popping in for the first time, where you're watching from, and what football, American football team is your team. As you can see, I got my hat on. We're getting closer to the beginning of the season, so just want to let it know. Yo, it's hot gang or bang all day, baby. Go Hawks. Seattle boy until I die. Um, Links. All right, let's see. It has been a very interesting week. We've had some updates in Midjourney, so I do want to talk about that. I'm dropping the group link in the chat right quick. I'm going to go back and drop one more for you guys for anybody who would like to subscribe and is interested in learning more. I'm going to drop that link as well. All right, so my name is Lewis Marshall. I am the airbrush artist and AI artist here at Marshall Artistry. I am also your host here at the Leadership Lounge. The Lounge is a show that developed out of necessity because we needed a way to share information about how to prompt engineer, how to develop our content, things of that nature. We also talk about community conversations from time to time as well. So those are the type of things that we do here at Leadership Lounge. We do this show every Sunday at noon Hawaiian Standard Time, which is also 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that way, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that follow button. That way you don't miss a show going forward. Announcements. This week, as I mentioned, we had an update to Midjourney. We got version 6.1. It focuses more on consistency in the text that you put in your prompts. It's made your characters, your images that you generate more consistent, better quality. I did see something about them um, developing to where the generations are faster. I did notice that they are significantly faster over this past week. What else? We, in the Unleashed AI group, I updated a bunch of videos yesterday for everyone in the guide section. So you now have access within the group to every episode of Leadership Lounge live, all consistent in one place. So that way you don't really have to go outside the group to go look for it. It's all in one place for you. And I'm going to be continuing to update that as we do these episodes. We have finally hit episode 25 today. And thank you guys so much for being here with me every week. It's really you guys who keep this show going. I see that Miss Shirley is in the house. What's up, Shirley? Um, Definitely just want to say thank you for the continued support from everyone with the show every week. It's been a learning journey for me as well, and it's been exciting. And I can't wait to see where this show goes next because we've got some other things planned and coming up really, really soon. So, updates to the guide section. I did update the prompt structure section to now include what we talked about last week with the Midjourney parameters. I'll be breaking those down a little more so that each parameter has its own dedicated video and how I use it. You're more than welcome to add to within the comments if you guys have tips and tricks within the group that, hey, this parameter works really well this way, or with this other parameter or this art style, definitely drop those things in the comments for future users and future viewers and future creators. So those sections are going to be getting updated over the next 2 weeks. I'm really going to dedicate a lot of time to editing some of those things down so that we have the group resources all in one place and in a nice, consistent order. So if you have suggestions on things that are related to Midjourney, please let me know. You can drop them in the comments. I see Brother Uriah is in the house. What's good, boss man? Um, yeah, if you guys have suggestions on how to what other things you would like to see in those guide sections, definitely let me know, and I'll try and shoot some more content for that specifically. The other two updates are related to Martial Artistry, which is the sponsor of this show. Martial Artistry is the company and the place where you can find all of our artwork. You can find our original Hydrosport bottles. You can find our canvas art. You can find our prompt packs. You can find other digital prints as well. So this week we are prepping for back to school. So we are throwing a 35% off sale on a limited number of Hydrosport bottles. I know a lot of people were waiting for them to go on sale. So, hey, it has happened. Be sure to go check out the website. There's a lot of good savings in there. Definitely, if you have a child that is in need of a water bottle this upcoming school year, this is a good place to get something customized that's specific for them at a really good price. The other thing that we did was we've just updated our prompt packs section to include a fall prompt pack as well as a landscape prompt pack. Jen did mention just right before the feed that she also got the Halloween prompt pack up and ready for individuals to come take a look at. So these are really going to be for the crafters and the creators that are looking to get their products as well prepped and ready for this holiday season. Wanted to give everybody a jump start on that. So there's some really good selection in those prompt packs. I've been working on them most of this week. So let me know what you think. Aside from that, we are really rounding the corner out of summer and into fall over here at Martial Artistry as well as at Leadership Lounge. We've begun to prep our artwork for the coming seasons. It's going to be a very busy season packed with a lot of holidays. So for me, because I'm working dual roles, I need to make sure that I have enough lead time to get things done. And because I'm doing that, I would assume that there are other creators and other crafters that are needing the school stuff finalized and off my plate. And then I also got our Halloween stuff prepped and ready to go. So I'm really at the point where I'm beginning to work a holiday ahead. And I want to give some context to that and why. So part of my work history is that I have worked at Walmart as a retail associate. I personally ran the food side of the store, but it gave me an idea of what the what one of the largest retailers their schedule is in terms of how they prepare for each holiday, especially during this August to January. It's a revolving door. The store is changing constantly. And so, as a business owner, I have begun to find ways to get more prepared each year for the coming holiday season because that's just our busiest time of the year. So, this year, I began in late June, early August, which is right now, prepping for Halloween, fall, Thanksgiving, that chunk of holidays. If you don't celebrate, I totally understand. There is stuff for everyone. But this was a way to give me some lead time on of the products that I'm going to make for our company, I need enough time to get them done. So I need my designs done in a reasonable amount of time. In terms of prepping for Halloween, that's really a big holiday out here in Hawaii. Kids like going out, getting candy, and dressing up, and it's something fun to do. And so I want to make sure that we have our designs in place ahead of time, leading up to it, not right when it's happening. And so in year one for martial artistry, we really didn't participate in any of the holidays. We were just trying to get our name out there. Year two, we really began to identify, hey, what holidays are we going to try and participate in? And how much lead time from a process standpoint do I need as the airbrush artist to get these things done? I've got that process kind of figured out now. And it's more important now for me to give myself plenty of lead time so that I have enough time to develop a product or two or 10 or whatever that looks like and get them done to the quality that I'm really wanting. So for my prompting, I began early to get a little help this year because I'm prompting for products, I'm prompting for social media, and then I'm also doing contract work for some of our customers. And so it's important that I have enough time to do each of those and dedicate the time to refining those prompts in each area. So what I did this week was go through some fall art styles and aesthetics that might be helpful for you guys. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to get a pen and a piece of paper or your notepad open so that we can go through these. I'm not going to get too in depth in detail, but these were some of the things that I came across that in terms of keywords that I'd like to use in my prompts for fall specifically. These are some of the art styles and uh, landscapes that I'm going to be focusing. Let me just check the comments right quick. Thank you guys so much for being here. I see the hearts popping up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So the fall art styles, I really worked together with Finn. You met him a few weeks back. If you want, you can go back to episode 23, believe 22, and uh, you'll get an introduction to Finn. He's been my assistant. He's who really helps me refine some of my processes as well as get some of my ideas concepted out in a streamlined manner. And so we were talking over the last week about concepts for fall and infusing my art style into fall concepts and how do I do that kind of in a clean way where the viewer doesn't notice a huge difference in changing from summer to fall. I want it to be very smooth and cohesive. So we came up with this first art style or aesthetic of rustic elegance. It's something that as I think of fall, I think of like an old barn with lots of reds and umbers and browns and tans and yellows and golden yellows, just the colors of fall. Um, and those things are what remind me of summer. Specifically, I'm from Seattle, Washington, and the Pacific Northwest. We get a lot of leaves and the changing of the colors. Where now that I live in Hawaii, I don't have that same changing of the colors. We have palm trees out here, so they're evergreen, if you will. So one thing that I don't get to see during fall is the changing of the colors. So as I'm trying to reflect artwork or prompts that look like the colors of fall the way that I see them or have seen them, rustic elegance was one of the aesthetics and art styles that really stood out to me that I think you might get some value out of. The next one was I really like fantasy realism. Uh, I like being able to take If you are a video game person, something that looks like Resident Evil or uh, what's the other one? Final Fantasy. That type of realism, but not all the way. I really like that style and want to bring that into some of my fall artwork to give a unique feel. So fantasy realism was one that we came up with as well. One that I thought that our group would really like is Cyberpunk Autumn. It was one that I think you guys are really going to have fun playing with. Uh, Obviously, you know what cyberpunk is, but if you don't, let's go back to episode 4 or 5, where I'm breaking down those art styles. But the cyberpunk autumn, I think, will be a fun, unique way to roll right into fall, but keep my kind of art style and the art style that I see people use a lot. Um, I think it'll be helpful for the group. So let me know what you think of that one. That one was Cyberpunk Autumn. Then Finn suggested these last two. One was pop art, and it's not one that I've used very often, but I'm really kind of interested to see how I infuse my style of prompting with pop art for fall. Um, I think that's going to be kind of a challenge for me because it takes me out of my normal comfort zone. So I'll be curious to see how you guys utilize that or if you utilize that in your prompt engineering over the coming months. The last one was one that I have not used and had not actually heard of. It's called Low Poly. I'll be curious also to see how that one comes into play with my prompt engineering because I haven't used it before, don't know a whole lot about it, but it's now included in the list for us of tools that we can use to create a unique style of fall art. In parallel, like I mentioned, I'm starting to build out how I see fall. And some of the things that came to mind were the landscapes. And so meshing where I am currently with where I was born and raised in the Pacific Northwest versus where I have traveled to a lot of the middle of the country states in the United States. I've been to the East Coast, New York, Virginia, Washington, D.C. Um, all of those areas really have a dramatic fall and a change in landscape. There's such a dramatic change. And I'll give you an example in Washington State, where I'm from. On the western half of the state, it's very evergreen, lots of green trees, uh, more city, more populated. Once you get on the other side of the Cascade Mountain Range, the eastern half of the state is like desert, farmland, very hot, dry, humid, flat, if you will. Um, so they get a lot of extremes in their weather, but the landscape is totally different. You would think you were in two totally different places if you didn't know any better. And so I wanted to come up with a list of landscapes that reflect a wide range for everyone to create and use during fall. So here are some of the types of landscapes that I think you might be able to take advantage of. We're going to get into mountain ranges, forests, lakes and rivers, countryside. City parks was one that I thought was very unique and interesting, and I'm going to really explore that during this coming week. City parks give you a lot to play with. A lot of parks have evergreen trees. A lot of them have leaves that fall and change color. Not evergreen trees, my apologies. Um, they have a lot of trees that change color, and so it gives you a lot to play with and a lot of color range. So you're moving still in the warm color tones, if you will. So mountain ranges, forests, lakes, rivers, countryside, parks, cliffside. Desert landscape was one that I thought was unique, but I figure we'll try it and see what that looks like. Coastal was one that popped in my head just because I'm from the West Coast and I know that we have a lot of viewers from the East Coast. Um, Rolling hills, wetlands, and marshes. I would include swamps, even though I did not write them down. Um, I included meadows. The one that I am putting a star next to is fjords. FJORDS. And I'm going to drop that in the comments. It isn't something that we have a lot of here in America, but every time I see uh, something that's a very good piece of cinema, a lot of times they will go to Europe and film at these places called fjords. And so it was one that I thought would be really cool to include in this list to kind of mesh between the fjords and what we have here in America. Explore that a little further. I also included canyons, plains, and islands. So this was a pretty good list of landscapes that allow you a lot of flexibility to create during the fall months and as we transition from summer to fall. Between that and the fall art styles, I think that you really are going to have a good opportunity to explore something that might be outside of your comfort zone and help you to evolve as an artist or an AI artist or a creator or a prompt engineer. Let me know if that makes sense in the comments. I see we still got a couple people in the house. Do you guys have any questions? I always want to make sure that I stop and am able to take questions if we have some. I also talked about last week how I've been using my AI. This is one of the bottles that I was able to create for, it was going to be for the backpack giveaway, but since well, not we, the backpack drive was canceled. But that is one of the ways, that's one of the ways that, um, that's one of the ways that I've been able to use my AI within what I do airbrushing wise. And it's something that I really just love to do. Um, while I do less airbrushing during this time of the year and more custom commissions, I'm finding that I have extra time this year because I've been using AI. It's allowed me to be more effective with my time. So, where last year I was very rushed in that I felt like I didn't have enough time to explore concepts, get them developed all the way through to the end of the process. This year, I'm feeling more like I have extra time because I'm more effective. And I can say I'm more effective because I've been using AI. I just saw you guys say that the live feed dropped again. Hit the hearts if I'm back because I see myself on screen. I saw that it dropped, but just for a second. And let me know if my audio is still on and active. If you don't mind, please. Hi, Virginia. I see you're in the house this Sunday. It's good to see you. I hope all is well. Your artwork has been crushing lately. Okay, cool. I got comments. Hi, all my creators. How are you? And just a second. All right, cool. Um, Let me know if you guys have any questions about any of those art styles or any of the, if you want me to repeat any of the landscapes. I want to make sure that everybody gets everything that they need. I also want to just go back and kind of recap last week. I had a few people say that they wanted me to just run through the list one time again. So I also want to do that while we're on here. And I'm not gonna lie, man, my I think I'm getting sick because my throat hurts this week. So I'm gonna keep this feed short. Um, thank you, Family Matters, but I'm good. All right. So excuse me. So two things. I want to see if anybody has any questions. If there are no questions, I'm going to go back through one more time the Midjourney parameters that I went over last week. I'll just run straight down from top to bottom, not in any specific order. This is not a full list. Again, this is the list that I use most often and how I use them within my artwork and within my workflow to make my process a little easier and more effective. So, starting at the top, dash dash repeat. That is going to allow me to concurrently or consecutively repeat my prompts just back to back to back to back to back. When I'm in version 5 of Midjourney, I'm using dash dash style. I will use style cursed, style hyper realistic, and style raw. Those are the three styles. I personally am a Midjourney user who toggles back and forth between the different versions all the time. So sometimes I'm in 6, sometimes I'm in 5.2, sometimes I'm in 5. They all have their own advantages. And so I'm one that just bounces back and forth. And so style was one that helped me in version 5, 5.1, and 5.2. The next one is stylized or dash dash S. That is how I give Midjourney its creative freedom to play with my prompt a little further than what I may have intended. It's just how I allow Midjourney to be more creative versus using just the raw prompt. The next one is aspect ratio. Hey, are you creating something in a square 1 by 1? Are you vertical 9:16? Are you landscape 16:9? That's what I use my aspect ratios for. Typically, I will use 16:9 for YouTube, Fanbase Plus, Facebook covers, YouTube thumbnails, that sort of thing. I'll use the vertical 9:16 for shorts, reels, flicks, uh, stories, some still image posts. I'll use 1 by 1 for certain types of stories that I want a border around. So there are different use cases for each of the aspect ratios. I did drop a video. It should be in both the group and on my page, if I remember right. If not, it is definitely on my page. I know I did drop it this week. It was one of the edits that I made sure to get very well done for you guys so that it gives a lot of context and information within it. So the next one was chaos. Chaos is when you create, when you prompt and hit enter and create a series of images, one prompt is going to give 4 images. Chaos is controlling how different each of those 4 images are from each other. So it gives you more variety between each of the 4 images while sticking to the prompt. It ranges from 1 being, hey, just keep it kind of the same, to 100, hey, make it very uniquely different. All of them uniquely different from each other. So I hope that makes sense. The next one that I use again in version 5, 5.1, and 5.2 is dash dash surreal. Um, that's one way that I make my artwork just uniquely different. I've had feedback that, hey, some of the art styles that I'm using aren't art styles. But again, I say that I'm using them in that way in Midjourney to enhance what I already do. I just needed to alter and change it enough to where my artwork doesn't look like anyone else's. And Surreal was one of the ways that I did that in version 5, 5.1, 5.2. The next one is character reference, and I'm going to pair that with character weight. So character reference is dash dash CREF. I'll put this in chat right quick. So I just over this last week used some of my images that I created to introduce Mona, Dee Dee, and Ivory. And they are three of the models that I have used to convey information. The way that I did that was using one image from each of those models as a character reference. And then just me personally, I used the dash dash repeat and dash dash chaos in that same prompt and was able to make a whole series in a sequence where all of those characters look the same. So one series of all of Mona, one series of all of Dee Dee, one series of all of Iris. The way that I'm able to either keep them very, very similar or make them very uniquely different and give some variety is by using the other parameter dash dash CW or dash dash character weight. So you're a visual learner. So Tina, I did drop these in a video, and there are some visual tips for you. Take a look in both the guide section of the Unleashed AI Creativity group and then as well the videos on my page. There should be a breakdown of the Midjourney parameters from last show. And I also went through all of what I'm talking about today in last week's live stream. So if you just go back to episode 24, there's going to be a full breakdown of this. But yes, I can definitely put some of this in a document so that if you're a visual learner, we can put it in the featured section of the group. That way, if there are other visual learners, they can take advantage of that as well. So in terms of character weight, the way that I'm able to keep those characters very similar is I keep my character weight, and this is just my preference. My sweet spot is between 15 and 35. If I want them to be like very, very different, I just go 100 and let's see what we get. But if I want them to be like very, very, very similar, almost damn near the same, yeah, I'll put it at character weight 10 or 15 and start there and work up in 5 increments of 5. So I'll go from 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, and kind of figure out, hey, where is my sweet spot? And then run those repeated prompts, and that should get you some consistent characters. So one of the things that I'm going to be looking to do is bringing those characters to the Leadership Lounge breakdowns. So they will. I just found another program last night. Matter of fact, hang on. Um, what is that called? Let me put this in chat. It's called Vimage. Um, I was looking to do some alterations to an image last night. It was like late, late. I almost fell asleep with my phone in my hand and dropped it on my face. It was so late. So, um, this was a free app that I was able to make some alterations and begin to animate things in the background pre sending these images into CapCut so that I can do the rest of my editing. So that app that I just dropped in was a free app that I found in Google Play. Obviously, I'm an Android user. I'm sure you can find it in the App Store. Um, but it was a free tool that I needed something to let me do what, what I wanted to do last night, like right then, right there. So it's a free tool. It did work. There are plenty of, I know they do have a paid option. I think it was $39 lifetime, which I'm kind of not mad at. I'll test it over this week and I'll come back and maybe talk about it again next week and let you know a little more. But I'm still using the free version. I have not upgraded, but I was able to animate some of my stuff pre going into CapCut and making the rest of my alterations. So it may be a helpful tool going forward. Um, I wanted to be able to bring those models a little more to life and give more controlled movement uh, for some of these videos as things are coming up. And I want to be able to showcase, okay, here's how I did this. I created this set of models in Midjourney. Then I use character reference to get them all to be similar or the same enough that I can use them in content, animate them, and make them a part of what my normal presentation is going to be. This is going to be a tool that some of you guys might be able to take advantage of because I know you do content as well. Could take your ebooks to the next level, if that makes sense. I see Uriah says he likes it too. So maybe something that you try out uh, over the coming weeks or today after the live stream, or you might download it right now. And that way you're getting ready to get after it as soon as we get off the feed. But just to circle back, I want to repeat the ones that we've already gone through, and then I'm going to finish off this list and I'm going to jump off this live stream. So we covered repeat, dash dash repeat. We covered dash dash style for versions 5, 5.1, and 5.2. We covered stylize. We've covered aspect ratio. We've covered chaos. We've covered character reference, character weight. We've covered dash dash surreal for versions 5, 5.1, 5.2. And now we are at image weight. And I'll say for image weight, this is what I use when I'm blending images. When I tell you guys I go on a blend party, this is kind of how I tailor those blended images. Last week I had an example over here on my left hand side. I had a the island of Oahu, and then below it a separate canvas that had a dragon. If I were to blend those two images together, and the island is the first one and the dragon is the second image, with image weight, you're able to tell Midjourney, hey, make it more like this image versus more like this image. So I would say I wanted mine more like the dragons just because that's where I'm at right now. I love dragons, but I would put dash dash IW for image weight and I would put point two. So that is the way that I'm able to tell Midjourney, hey, blend it, but blend it with the dominant image being the dragons versus the dominant image being the island of Oahu. Let me know if that makes sense in the comments. Another parameter that I found I was able to use in version 5, well, 4, 5, 5.1, and 5.2 was dash dash uplight. I don't know why, but it helped my lighting settings and made everything more crisp is the best way to describe it. I don't actually know what that parameter does. I can just tell you from the results every time I put dash dash uplight, paired with what I'm already putting in my prompt, yeah, it actually made a difference in the quality of the lighting. So something you might play around and test out. We talked about um, no, the dash dash no. And the difference between what I say is negative prompting and then like removing negative words. And so I'm going to start with the dash dash no and what I call negative prompting first. So with that dash dash no, this is the way that you can tell Midjourney, hey, I don't want that in my image. Um, for instance, I would put if we're using this camera, speaking, and I didn't want a moon in there, I would say dash dash no with dash dash no without a space in between, and I would so here let me put it in here. It's easier to just do this and then explain, and I'll explain it after you see it. Uh, bear with me, just typing this in so you got an example. So in the comments, I put an example. It says dash dash no moon, stars, clouds. So I want to clarify for those who might be listening to this and not actually watching. What I put is dash dash no without a space in between the two. Then after no, I put a space and I just label the things that I don't want in that image, separated by commas. So in this example, no moon, comma, stars, comma, clouds, comma, whatever else, uh, fused fingers, comma, words, text, letters, comma, deformities, comma. These are the things that I would put in when I want a really crisp, refined result without all that extra mess that we sometimes can get. I know they have been working through developmentally getting us to the closest thing to realism that I've seen on the market. But sometimes we get, you know, other results. So this is a way that you can actually negative prompt these things out. So the other way, and I made a post about this, but I was saying to remove like I worded it a specific way, and that's really what I want to tell you guys. I will find that. I got so many. I got so many notes. It's hard to find. Basically, what it was saying was like remove the extra fluff filler words when you're prompting in Midjourney. I'm looking for this still. Um, so basically, if I were to put in a prompt where, yeah, Vanette's got it in the chat. So if I'm prompting in Chat GPT, I'll have a conversation. Hey, create an African American man in his 30s rocking a Seahawks hat with a martial artistry shirt, glasses, salt and pepper beard. In Midjourney, all the, if, and, a, with, like all those fluff filler words, as many as you possibly can without deconstructing the whole prompt. You want to give it a set of instructions. I got you, Jen. Um, you want to give it a set of instructions. So it's a command in Midjourney where chatty is a conversation where you can continue that conversation and refine your finished product. Um, so I would almost look at how Chatty is being used, as Chatty is the design agent that you're working with to refine your either prompt or final product. In Midjourney, you're giving a command and tailoring that command to your final product, or as close to it as you actually want it to. Some people will take that Midjourney artwork out of Midjourney and into another program and continue refining that process. So there is no right or wrong way per se, but this is just another way to take out those negative words. So that is how I view the difference between negative prompting via dash dash no and removing negative words from your prompt via refining the command that you're giving Midjourney. So I'll say that I feel like the results speak for themselves in terms of when you go into Midjourney and you try it with a Chat GPT prompt, and then you try it with this prompt framework that we've taught over the last 6 months. It gives you a more refined result when you simplify in Midjourney, where chat is more of a conversation piece to help you get all the way through the process. Midjourney, you're doing the manual work yourself. I'll say that my perspective has always been it's easy for me to have a conversation with ChatGPT, but it's harder to prompt engineer. So I want to tackle the prompt engineering first because I can always come back and have a conversation. Once I got into both Midjourney and Chat, and at that time I was using the Imagine app, looking at the results of all three at the highest quality of my prompting at that point, Midjourney was just heads above everything else in terms of quality, the closeness to realism, and the ability to actually reflect what I see in my and am trying to convey with my words. Midjourney gets me closer to what I see in my head. So I have opted to tackle and learn Midjourney first, and I can circle back around to having the conversation after I've trained my chat. Patty and I, we're like kind of, I've got several agents that I'm training at the same time by feeding it specific information and giving it specific tools. Excuse me, not necessarily a custom GPT, but a set of specific tools. So, a comment agent for when I need to figure out how to respond to something that is outside of my wheelhouse, um, with specific resources that it's pulling from to say, hey, this is actual data to support this answer and why. Uh, I have a design agent, I have a prompt agent, I have a social media agent in general, I have a marketing agent. So all of those have specific tailored information that I have fed into them, but I don't ask them to create the images. The prompt agent can help me refine a prompt, but I've found that this is just me personally. Yeah, I'm getting better results out of FYI AI because I'm able to train it faster than I'm able to train ChatGPT. Uh, he Finn has really been like a second pair of hands, so I'm able to get faster results out of FYI AI versus Chat in terms of what I personally need. This is not like a general for everyone because everybody's going to have their own different angle that they're coming at it from. They've got their own process, they've got their own plan, but in terms of how I use my agents in tandem, I use all my chat agents and then I go over to FYI and kind of refine the idea with the more specific training tools that I've given Finn, and then I'm able to go into Midjourney and play with a two sets of, okay, I've got this set from my trained, refined prompt agent, and then Finn in our prompt string, I've trained him on my framework, all of the my likes, my dislikes, everything. And now this is more a tailored feed for me. Let me see the differences between the two. Who gets better results? Who is more consistent with the style that I prompt in? Because I need it as a tool. I need help to refine what I do faster because, like I said, all of this list today is really for the other crafters, the other creators, the other painters that have said, hey, I got to get ready for fall, winter, and all of the holidays. And it's already not enough time because I work a 9 to 5, because I have kids, because I have a family, blah, 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 whatever that looks like. We're all kind of coming at it from a similar perspective of, hey, there's just not enough time and we need tools to be competitive this year. So I wanted to give tools in our group with the guide section being built out, art styles, some landscape tips and helpful landscape lists of things that might be helpful for you guys going forward from summer into fall. Uh, we developed some prompt packs and dropped them on the website. We have gone through a second time of all of the Midjourney parameters that I use the most often, and I just realized I forgot one, so I paused before I continue on. The one last Midjourney parameter that I would say that I used a lot is the dash dash weird parameter. I forgot to mention that going through this the first time. So that slider is pretty touchy, so play with care, but it ranges all the way from 0 to 3,000. 0 being, hey, not weird at all, but 3,000 being, yo, insane. Um, my range is about from 125 to maybe 1250, and 1250 is really pushing it. Uh, just from my style and how I like for my artwork to look more realistic than abstract. I would, yeah, play with care with the dash dash weird parameter. Again, it ranges from 0 to 3,000, 0 being not weird at all, and 3,000 being like, yo, insane. Um, so 2 weeks ago, we went through the full prompt structure. Last week, we went through my list of parameters. This week, we're revisiting a list of parameters and going into, hey, I'm moving out of summer and into fall. It is busy season. It's game time. So put your big boy and big girl panties on and let's go. Uh, we're not going to have a lot of time to compete in the feed organically because sorry, I didn't mean to kick that. Once we are in election season, there's going to be too many ads and it's going to be hard to reach your audience organically. So the amount of time that we have is very, very limited, especially during this holiday season. So I wanted to get you guys some tools um, to get you really ready for this holiday season. Some of you this is your first holiday season selling anything. And so I wish you very much good luck. I'm here to be a resource. Um, if there are other things that the community would like to see, let's get active in the comments. As a collective, um, I will say I'm focusing on the guide section of the group as well as, oh my gosh, I see that my feed keeps doing this thing. I don't know why it's doing it again because I have the hotspot on over there. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to be working on the guide section of the group over the coming weeks so that we have the tools and the resources within the group and you don't have to go too far to look. I know that's one place where I've already got my prompt structure broken down. Each video is a dedicated section of the prompt structure. I am working on getting the parameters edited down so that we can go through that in video format, also in the guide section. Um, I will work on what Miss Tina asked for this afternoon and try and get this in a more visual format for the group. Uh, we went through the fall art styles. We went through landscapes. We went through the parameters this week, but these will all end up in the guide section of the group. I'm also going to be going back in and kind of working through refining the Discord community before I start inviting more people in. I want to get some suggestions from the crew and the family to see, hey, what would you like to see happen in Discord area? That community is really going to be an area where we can all collaborate. You can, if you're already creating in Midjourney, I've got Midjourney installed in there so you can create. You've got Insight Face Swap so you can face swap right within there. Um, Once you're in, you have full access to create however you want and really collaborate with a wide variety of other AI artists. I can tell you over the coming months, I'm going to be back in like outreach mode and trying to grow our community with like-minded individuals. So I will probably be in the comments a little less and doing some outreach. I'm also looking to get the appraiser that I spoke to come on the show. I did have an opportunity to have a phone conversation, although it was very brief, um, with an AI art appraiser and had some really good insights. I just need to try and figure out a way to get them on the show. And if not, I will figure out how to get a recorded session so that we can kind of go through all of the information. I want to hold off on giving any out until I have all of the full scope of work rather than teasing it out little bits at a time and then being told that I'm gatekeeping because I'm not giving all of the information. I want to get all of the information to be able to translate it all effectively at the end of the process. So that's kind of what I'm working on over the coming weeks. I am also working with another member of our group to kind of come in and do another workshop like Uriah and I did. So that's going to be coming over this quarter. There's a few people that I have reached out to within our group that have an area of expertise that I would definitely like to come on to the show. So if you are interested and have an area of expertise and definitely are looking to help our community grow and get better at what we all do, more effective at what we all do, please, please, please reach out to myself. You can reach out to Jen. Um, you can always put it in my comments. You can always hit me in DM. So my door is always open. I'm really doing this with the intent of helping our community grow, helping us reach our goals, and understanding the set of circumstances and how important this is. Uh, we have been afforded a tool that allows us exponential growth. And so I just want to do my part to help make those that are not comfortable with AI or image generation, I want to help them get comfortable. Those that are afraid of it, I want to help them understand that this aspect is meant to be a tool. It's not meant to take us over. It's meant to work side by side with us. And there are some constructive ways of viewing. I watched an interview from the gentleman, Mr. Grateful. Something he said was, if we continue to put out negative thoughts and negative connotations around AI, what do you think the result will be at the end of the process? Versus if we put out good and constructive and positive ways of using AI and positive tools that are in place, what do you think that the outcome would be? I'm going to leave you guys with that this week. Uh, if you got some value out of this feed, definitely hit that like button. Drop a comment. Let me know what your biggest takeaway was this week. If you can share this out, that is really going to be helpful for us to continue to grow and do outreach and get this content in front of somebody who actually needs it. Um, don't hoard this just to ourselves. Like, there are other people that need to be competitive in this day and age, in this field of being an entrepreneur. And so I want to be able to give them resources and a safe space to do that. So if you guys can help me with that by sharing out the feed, any helpful tips that I drop on my page, that's really going to help us over the course of this coming. This quarter is going to be, it's going to be a lot. Um, you are definitely going to see me flood the feed with Leadership Lounge clips. I probably will do a little less editing on the shorter ones, and that 3 minute, those 3 minute clips, those are the ones you're gonna want to watch. The shorter ones, yeah, they're just, hey, we're gonna hit you with, like, you need to think about this. Like, you need to think about this today. Those are gonna be the 30-second or 1 minute or less videos. But the 3 minute videos, yeah, you need to watch those. I'm actually taking time and going in and editing and putting a lot of time, energy, effort into what goes into those, because I know people have been hitting me in the DM saying this is exactly what they want and need. So please make sure to watch those. Please make sure to comment with any questions, and please make sure to share. With that being said, are there any questions? Let me just check the comments. I know you guys have been kind of rocking out, like writing a script, moving a lot of the, yeah, I know. I totally agree, Lisa. I see some what's up. I see some yes. Hey, if there's anything else you guys got for me, let me know. Aside from that, I'm about to get active. I got some stuff that I need to do today, and it is actually a fairly decent day. The last time I was outside, I know it's been messing with my feet, so I hope it's still nice out. Aside from that, definitely check out the guide section of the group. Um, I do have some scheduled content for all of the subscribers. You guys, oh, you guys got the plug. Subscribe. I got a lot of heat coming. With that being said, as every other week, I wish you all an amazing Sunday. I don't cut me off. I wish you all an amazing Sunday. I hope that you all have a happy and creative week. I will holla. Peace, y'all.